Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you. It's been a while, hasn't it? Thanks, everybody, for all your kind messages lately and for being patient with me while we've got stuff to deal with and everything. And it's just been, obviously, a pretty horrendous time. But, trying to get back into things. Here I am today to discuss the latest transfer news and the latest updates in regards to Manchester United. Just to say hi and thank all you legends for sticking with me, So shout out to all the legends in the live chat. How are we all doing today, guys? Let's see who's in here. Shout out to old Dirty Benjo at the start of the show for being a member for 31 months, lad. He says, hope you're doing well, Piggo, you legend. Thank you, old Dirty Benjo. Great to see you, my son. What's going on? James Smith, Farabi Fawad. Let's get a hashtag 31 in there for Benjo. Thank you, bud. Nathan Gardner, Matty Gwinnett, Stephanie Griffith, Lucky Singh, Freeze Fire, Trading Cards and More Gaming. Neil Duffin, how are you, sir? Jamie Mackey, what's going on? Michael Woolley Woolbridge, Griffo Chaz, thank you, buddy. Shazad Ahmed, Luan France. Yes, all the legends getting in here. What's good, guys? James Smith, Muller, Lord PlayStation. Just want to say hi to everybody, really. Michael Woolley Woolbridge, Bruce McIntosh, Duncan, Paul Ramsey, Ezio Auditor, thank you for the $2 super chat, mate. He says, welcome back, baby. Thank you very much there, Ezio Auditor. Appreciate you, my good sir. I hope you're all keeping well. Really hope you're all doing well, guys. It has been a while. I haven't done a stream for over 20 days, which is the longest I think I've ever gone without streaming. Obviously, my mum passed away, guys. I've still got a lot of stuff to deal with, and there's the funeral coming up, and it's not even going to be like getting straight back into usual play, really. There's still going to be some sporadic streams and stuff like that, but when I can, when I'm feeling up to it, and when I've got some time, I would definitely jump on and do what I can. But thank you, everybody, for your kind messages and support lately. And shout out to all the guys who help with the channel as well, streaming and doing fantastic streams. Eddie, Maisie, Griffo, Jarvis, Mick, Errol, everybody who's got involved. Thank you so much for keeping this channel going at this time. But yeah, do us a favor at the start of this stream, guys. Smash that like button on the video. Give us a massive thumbs up if you haven't done so. You know it makes sense. Hit the like. Let's get 100 likes on this stream. Also, share it around on social media. I've pinned the tweet to the top of the live chat. Give us a cheeky little retweet. Thank you. Hello, pal Marius. What's going on? Dante. Thank you very much, Lewis, for your highlighted comment, being a member 10 months, bro. He says, good to have you back, Piggy. Thank you very much, Lewis. You're a fucking legend, sir. And everybody, sorry if I missed you. There's loads of love coming in the live chat. Just thank you, every single one of you legends. Let's just get some love hearts in the live chat for this community. What a supportive, legendary community. Thank you, Diedrich Riggs. Hey, Steve Johnson, thank you very much for the super chat, boss. He says, sending you love. Thank you so much there, Stevie Johnson, you absolute don from Canada. I hope things are good with you. He says, sending you love. Receiving that love loud and clear, mate. Thank you very much, Steve Johnson. You're a don. Dean M sent a super chat as well. He says, glad to see you again. Hope you're doing well, pal. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Thank you very much for asking. And all that, everybody else as well. Sorry if I've not got back to you lately. I just had some stuff going on, and okay, so yes, let's get into this raw then, guys. We've got plenty of transfer news to get into. It has been a while. Dante getting some love hearts in there, being a member 39 months. Great to see you, Dan. Hashtag 39 for this legend. OHB. Yes, Eddie's football waffle getting in here. Thank you, Eddie, for doing a stellar job with the streams lately. As I shouted out, yourself, Maisie, Jarvis, Errol, Griffo, Mick, and everybody else who's got involved lately. Thanks for keeping the show going. Thank you, Diang Sham. All right, well, welcome in, everybody. Hi to everybody. Sorry if I missed you, but hi to everybody. You're a bunch of legends. Let's get stuck into the news. So we have got some latest information in regards to Declan Rice and his potential summer move away from West Ham this summer. Let's see what's going on with that then. So there are reports coming out today from the Telegraph that United are considering rivaling Arsenal's move for Declan Rice by proposing a player plus cash deal that could involve Maguire or Scott McTominay. Come on, let that be true. That would be the best thing ever, mate. Either or both. It's like a two birds with one stone situation, isn't it? You sign Declan Rice, a good player, good prospect, good England international, etc., and you get rid of a human breeze block in Slabby Maguire or a human walking Scotch broth in Scott McTominay. I don't know where that came from, but let's go with it. Scott McTominay or Maguire on the way out. Yeah, nice one. It's like going to the doctors and them saying, hey, which disease would you like to get rid of? A gonorrhea or syphilis? It's like I would quite happily get rid of either of those diseases. I'm not saying I've got those. Not saying I've got those diseases, guys. I'm just saying, like, if you could get rid of a disease, you would, wouldn't you? It's like that. So, in regards to Maguire or McTominay, if we could include them in some sort of swap deal, that would be absolutely mesmeric, guys. What an absolute turn up for the books that would be this summer. And what a bit of business it would be, because West Ham have talked about the value of this guy being in the region of £100 million is what they would want, minimum really, to get Declan Rice. I mean, that's just insane money, and it's not really that justifiable for Manchester United right now because of all the different positions we've got to strengthen this summer, i.e. the striker position, maybe even the goalkeeper position and various other positions, to spunk 100 million on Declan Rice, who, let's face it, is a more sort of defensive-minded midfielder anyway, and we've already got the Don Brazilian beast Casemiro. So, you know, it wouldn't really be that justifiable. But if you can get him for a bit cheaper than that by including, let's face it, a surplus to requirements melter, such as Harry Maguire or Scott McTominay in the deal, or both, then I say that would be a fantastic bit of business. So, I don't know, guys, I'm going to ask the live chat, how much do you think it would take to include Harry Maguire in the deal, say, and money? How much money would it take to get Declan Rice from West Ham? I think you're talking £75 million plus an absolute slab. You know, but even then, it's like maybe you're talking about £125 million plus slabbing. Maybe he increases the price because he's so shit. Maybe that's it. But no, I think 75 mil would probably get the job done if you were to include a slabbo in there. I'm valuing him at like 25 million quid. I know he's an England international. I know Southgate plays him. That doesn't really mean all that much to me. Southgate's a mug. Yeah, we could beat North Macedonia 7-0. Big whoop. He's still a mug. So, you know, Maguire I'm valuing him at 25 mil. West Ham want 100 mil. That's 75 mil plus mags. It sounds like a great deal, to be honest, for somebody who's probably one of the best sort of midfielders of his current England generation, if you want to say that. Just going to catch up with the chat here. Simon Lee, thank you for becoming a member, Simon Lee. Getting in here from the Welsh Valleys. I hope you're great, bud. Thank you, Diang Sham, for the highlighted member comment. Being an 11-month member, says, welcome back, Piggy. Thank you so much. Matthew Smith with a €2 super chat. He says, Piggy, you've been missed. Hope you're okay, bro. I'm not doing too bad, mate. Thank you very much, Matthew Smith. I appreciate you, dude. Get in there, my son. Let's get some love in there for Matty Smith and the gang. James Dunn, thank you for being a member. 3 months. Has missed you, Piggy. Glad you're back, bro. I missed you guys as well, seriously. And it's good to be back. You know, I'm feeling a bit more positive just getting on this stream. It's facing it was the thing, but getting on here and doing it feels good. Simon Lee, what's going on, you legend? With a super chat, says, welcome back, Piggy. Missed you from Wales. Thank you again, mate. And thank you for being a member there, bud. That's very, very kind of you. And he sent another one, and it says, keep strong, Piggy. Much love from Wales. Thank you for getting in here from the Welsh Valleys, lad. That is absolutely legendary of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Abdi. Thank you, Furkan, Kevin, Lord PlayStation, Jamie Wayne, Must Play, everybody, Muller. Thank you, guys. Right, okay then. So yeah, look, Slabby Maguire. Let's see what you guys have said, actually, in regard to that. So the amount of money involved to get him, 70 million plus Maguire, says Sonic Asylum. Ezio's gone 50 million plus Harry Maguire. OHB says, I'd pay West Ham to take Harry Maguire. You're not the only one, bud. I'd quite happily get rid of that melter for nothing. If we could agree some sort of mutual termination like we did with Cristiano Ronaldo, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? I mean, look, you know, he's a good player. He would actually be good for a team like that. So you talk about going in the opposite direction. It's like, that's the right sort of fit for him. A team that's decent, that's good. He's not a terrible player, is he? For the right sort of team, a team that doesn't play like high up attacking football, he's decent. If you're a sort of more of a low block sort of team, Maguire could be good for you. And same goes for Scott McTominay as well. Scott McTominay is okay. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch. I actually think he's gash, but he's okay for a lower Premier League style team. And where did West Ham finish this season? I know they won that Ponzi Conference League guff or whatever, but when they finished like 14th or something, wasn't it, West Ham finished? That's about right for Scott McTominay, you know. He's better than Championship, but only just. He should be playing in the lower reaches of the Premier League, really. You know what I'm saying? That would make a heck of a lot of sense. So Scott McTominay or Harry Maguire out in the other direction, and Manchester United being able to mastermind a deal or a move for Declan Rice, I think would be a great start to our summer transfer business. It has to come sooner or later. Man United being left behind because of, I guess, the current situation with, well, the owners and all of the debacle that's been going on with that. 7 months that's been raging on for, you know, the whole takeover situation with Manchester United and Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe and all this stuff. It's absolutely gash. So, you know, the sooner we can get that done, I guess the sooner we'll start actually doing business. But we should be doing business regardless, if you ask me. I mean, other clubs are doing business. So just an update from Fab yesterday in regards to Arsenal's situation with Declan Rice. So Arsenal sniffing around Declan Rice like flies round rice. And this is what Fabrizio said. He said, Arsenal will bid again for Declan Rice as plans remain clear. He's a top target and the club wants to get it done. Timing of new bid is not clear yet, but it's guaranteed that Arsenal won't stop on this one. No plan to bid for Romeo Lavia until they get Rice deal sealed. Okay, fine. So it seems like Arsenal are still deep in the mix for Declan Rice. They're also sniffing around Kai Havertz. In fact, it looks like that's pretty realistic. Arsenal are closing in on Kai Havertz. Still, his final agreement with Chelsea is imminent. Package will be worth £65 million as expected. Always been indicated as the right fee to make it happen. Yeah, I bet, because he's shite. No, he's not that bad. But 65 mil is pretty good money, isn't it? For a club that needs to balance their books a little bit with their ridiculous spending lately. So, yeah. Arsenal, all I'm saying is other clubs are doing business. Arsenal are looking like they're going to be doing quite a bit of business again this summer after spunking several hundred millions each summer transfer window that they've spent these last couple of seasons. So, you know, they're doing business. Other clubs are doing business. United getting left behind yet again. So we do need to act upon it and sign some players. So, yes, I would take Declan Rice in a heartbeat, guys. Let us know what you think. Yes or no. Declan Rice, would you have him at Manchester United? Do you think he's what we need? Because I could understand people thinking he's not exactly what we need. Because of, like I say, the fact we've got Casemiro, he is more of a, if you're going to think about midfield chemistry, for instance, you perhaps maybe want somebody more like a De Jong, who's going to be more of a playmaker type, maybe can play sometimes more advanced, that kind of thing. But Casemiro's a little bit long in the tooth. He is, 31 now? And so, you know, it makes sense to have somebody that could take over from Cassie in a couple of years' time when he gets sent out to pasture, you know. No, says Ezio Auditore, you're not convinced, says Sonic. Not for 100 million, says Scudra. Yeah, not for 100 million. But what about for 70 million plus a human breeze block in Slabby Maguire? Surely that's like a double whammy. You get a good player and you get rid of a shit player. Ulf793, great to see you, Don. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the member comment, being a member for 15 months. I appreciate you, dude. He says, yo, Pigster, great to see you, mate, you legend. Thank you so much there, Ulf793. Good to see you also, mate. Thank you for being a member all that time. Hashtag 15 for Ulf. And thank you. It's good to be back, mate. Jarvis Cocker, thank you. Shout out to you once again, mate. Thank you for all the help lately with the videos and the streams. You're an absolute true gentleman, lad. Thank you and everybody else that's been helping with the streams. I hope you're all good today, mate. Great show last night, by the way. 15 months, absolutely. No to Mount, says the big guy. Right, okay, well, seeing as you brought it up there. Seeing as you brought it up, let's talk about it. So, we'll get on to Rice back again in a minute, but Mason Mount, there's reports coming out that United are expected to make another bid for him at some point, potentially in a region of 50 million quid. You know, listen, these are my thoughts on Mason Mount, guys. Just my honest, humble opinion. Take it with a pinch of salt. I know everybody else has got different opinions. Ten Hag seemingly has a lot of respect and interest in him and rates him. Me personally, I think he's shite. I think he's really quite average. I know he gets about. I know he's reasonably industrious. But I just think I've said this for years as well, guys. So anybody new, I'm not just saying this for the sake of it. I've said this for years. I think Mason Mount is one of the most overrated players currently plying his trade in the Premier League. I just don't see it myself. I don't get it myself. I don't understand the fixation with Mason Mount. He's homegrown, he's English, he's played for a top club, he's had some decent times, but that's it. It's like we're going to get an English version of, you know, another mediocre player. We've got mediocre players, like we've got McTominay, we've got Fred. We had Sabby. Do we have to have another mediocre player? I know Ten Hag might be able to improve him, might be able to transform him, maybe he'll do better than his time at Chelsea. Chelsea were just generally shite this last whole season long, and so could he really flourish in that side? Wasn't even necessarily getting selected all that much. I just don't see it, though, is all I'm saying. I think he's pretty average. So for £50 million, look, for the right price, yes, I would add him to the squad. For the right price, I would add him to the squad. If Ten Hag's dead set on him and wants to bring him in, fine. But for 50 million quid, I mean, crikey, that's not chump change. Is he really 50 times better than Zidane Iqbal? You know what I mean? I know Zidane Iqbal's a young 20-year-old who we haven't seen that much from him. Is he 50 times better than Zidane Iqbal? Because we just let that go. We're going to be letting that guy go for £1 million. So I just don't see the valuation that Chelsea are putting on Mason Mount, to be honest, guys. I think he's decent, 30 million quid. Okay, fine. If he wants away, he doesn't have that long left on a contract and he wants to go, fine. 30 million quid, add him to the squad. But he's not the sort of player that's going to come in and improve our starting 11, I don't think. I think he will improve the overall squad and he will give us some depth. That's fine, but I don't think he improves the starting 11, which is surely what we need to be doing. Once you improve your starting 11, you improve the squad depth anyway, because a player who was in your starting 11 now gets demoted. But I don't think he gets in there ahead of anybody that we've currently got personally. I think, especially after we've signed another midfielder this summer, which we should be doing anyway. So, it's like, yeah, Stephanie Griffiths says Mount's not the priority. Eddie says exactly, Pigger, there's too many people that Ten Hag has to awaken. He needs some plug-in-and-play midfielders too. Spot on. I.e. Casemiro was a plug-in-and-play midfielder, wasn't he? Just somebody who's been there, done that, got the experience, got the quality, comes in, plugs in, and plays. You're absolutely right. I like that expression, Eddie. You're spot on. Shazad says United should go for other targets. Same says Duke of Rodtown. Thank you, BA Studios, and thank you very much for the super sticker. I missed that, lad. Let's get some Sues in there for BA Studios. Thank you for the super sticker, you legend. I appreciate that a lot. Griffo says the Mount transfer is becoming harder because Chelsea are getting money from all the sales. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they've been a bit greedy in my opinion. So I think it was it 40 million pounds that United reportedly had bid last week. That's maximum price if you ask me for what we're getting. He's a good player. He's a decent player. I don't think he's that good of a player, but he's a decent player. He's reasonably young. He's English. He's homegrown. He ticks a lot of the boxes. He does, but. There's no good value in that deal at 50 million quid, I don't think. There's many a player that I would rather go and spend 50 million quid on. Yeah, 0793 says Declan Rice would be a great buy for you. Yeah, I'd rather put the money in for a Declan Rice signing. I know he's not necessarily exactly what we need right now, but he would be a great player to come in and give us that depth. And also, there's a midfield holding duo of Casemiro and Rice. Sounds pretty great to me. It doesn't necessarily have the most versatility, but it sounds pretty fucking solid, doesn't it, guys? So, yeah, that would be, I'd rather spend an extra 25 million, get rid of Harry Maguire, and actually bring in a potential world-class player in a couple of years' time. And, you could even argue nowadays he is already there. I think Rice is a much better player in terms of quality in his position than Mason Mount is. Shazad Ahmed says Mason Mount's second bid for rejected. Well, there you go. Precisely, mate. So, there is actually a report here coming out from David Ornstein today that says that Manchester United have today made an improved bid for Mason Mount. Proposal of £45 million plus £5 million in add-ons. So 50 million quid for Mason Mount. Let me get that up on the screen for you guys. It's just an absolute atrocity. It's way too much money, and they've rejected it as well. So you're talking about no value in that deal, if you ask me, guys. I mean, what is the obsession with paying more than that? It doesn't really make sense. So I'll get that up on the screen, guys, so you can have a look and see. But let's have a look. So there it is. So David Ornstein, just a short while ago on Twitter, says, exclusive, Manchester United have today made an improved bid for Mason Mount. Proposal, £45 million plus £5 million in add-ons. Chelsea countered with a £60 million plus £5 million. Cheeky bastards. Do you know what I mean? That's way too much. Pull the plug on that deal, guys. Walk away. What do you think, guys? Do you think, right, okay, smash a 1 in the live chat if you think Man United should pay £60 million plus £5 million in add-ons for Mason Mount this summer and get the deal done. Smash a 2 in the live chat if you think we should walk away from that deal and spend the money elsewhere. Let us know what you guys are saying in the chat. Me, personally, it's a walk-away situation. I don't like that player for that amount of money. I wouldn't give you half that amount of money. Jamie Wayne says, walk away. Absolutely. Hey, what's this? We got a new member. What's going on? Oh, Gungshi. Gungshi has gifted out 10 memberships on the channel. You're a handsome bastard, sir. Don Gungshi, great to see you, man. And thank you very much. Let's just get some mad love in the live chat for Gungshi. I did message you on Twitter, mate. I don't know if you've seen it. But thank you so much. But he sent me a PayPal like a few days ago, just out of the blue, with some mad support and just saying, don't worry and get back to it when you can and all this sort of stuff. And it's just insane to think that there's people out there, even when I'm not streaming, who are so supportive and so nice and just so legendary. So let's just get some mad love in the live chat for Gungshi for his insane generosity and support lately. But also, he's just gifted out 10 memberships on the channel. We've got 10 new members of the Baker Brigade. So mad love to Gungshi there. Thank you so much, pal. And the big guy, Extra Cheese, Anthony, Matthew Smith, Boomy, John Boy, all new members of the channel, Rajat, etc. So welcome aboard all the new members. Thank you to Don Gungshi. You're an absolute legend, man. Give us a message back on Twitter when you can, mate. And great to see you. Hope you're keeping well. And thank you so much for your just legendariness. You're a hero. Chris Koo sent in a £5 super chat. Great to see you, Chris Koo. He says, great to see you back, Pig. Hope you're well, but big up to the guys who filled in for you. I've been watching. Want to say great job, guys. Absolutely, Chris Koo. Yes, I shouted them out at the start of the show, but let's do it once again. Jarvis Cocker, Eddie's Football Waffle, Maisie, Griffo Chaz, Mick, Errol from the Man United Agenda. I think that was everybody, was it? I don't want to leave anybody out, but I think that's everyone who's been covering the shows, and they've been doing a great job. So thank you once again to those absolute legends. I couldn't agree more. Fantastic job they've been doing. By the way, everyone, if you're just getting in here, we've got 114 legends in the chat. We've got 68 likes. That's good, but we can do better than that, my friends. Hit that thumbs up button for the first stream that I've been back on here with the latest news. And let's get this sucker to 100 likes. Hit the like button on it if you haven't done so. It's free. And you can give it a share around on Twitter if you want to as well. Good to see you back, Stay Clint. How you doing? John Shin, how did I forget him, Jarvis Cocker? What a scumbag I am. The legend John Shin has been helping out loads. John Shin as well. Shout out to John Shin. Thank you for reminding me there, Jarvis. Yeah, absolutely. Fat Chinese Gaming, great to see you also, mate. £5 super chat from him. Hope you're good. He says, was going to be a channel member myself, but thanks, Gungshi. Also, it is so good to see you again. Wish you all the best, Piggy. Thank you, FCG, lad. Gungshi got there before you, my son. You're a legend, FCG. Thank you so much for your support there and your generosity. Absolutely, Stephanie Griffith. Shout out for the Pig super subs. Damn right. It was like having Chicharito Hernandez and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer waiting in the wings, wasn't it? Great super subs there. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Right. Okay, guys. So lots of twos coming in the live chat saying we should walk away from a £65 million valuation of a Mason Mount transfer. It just doesn't really make sense, does it, at that price? 40 million, even 45 million, I could live with. But 65 million is just insane. Chelsea are sort of pricing themselves out of the market there. So yeah, it's a big no from me, Carol. F the man, ETH the man, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel once again. New member, get your favourite Phil Jones emoji in there to welcome in. We're going to have to get rid of that Phil Jones emoji, guys, aren't we? Because he's gone. He's gone, mate. That's one good thing that's happened. But what do you reckon, guys? Should we keep or get rid of the Phil Jones emoji? I mean, it's just too iconic to get rid of immediately. It would take some time. But at some point, we're going to have to get rid of that twat, aren't we? Anyway, Shazad says keep. Gungshi's getting him in there. Get rid of it, says Duke of Rodtown. Right. Anyway. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's the latest on Mason Mount. United have had another bid in there for him, reportedly knocked away. Griffo Chaz, thank you for being a member for 41 months. Are you serious? That is a long old time. 41 in the chat there for Griffo Chaz. That is a long time. Getting on. 7 months' time, it'll be 4 years, bud. He says, great to see Pig back. Smash a like for the Don. Thank you, Griffo Chaz. And once again, thank you for all your help that you've been giving me on this channel with your appearances on the show and with the website as well. You are an absolute hero, my son. Griffo Chaz. Much love to you, dude. And thanks for being a member for 41 months. Legit. That's a long time. Thank you, the special one. And everybody. Right, okay. So let's get on to the next order of business then. Or back onto this, actually, before, because we got sidetracked with the Mason Mount news. There was some breaking news just half an hour ago with David Ornstein reporting United bidded again for Mason Mount, and it's been rejected, and Chelsea have essentially, counter-offered with an obscene, ridiculous amount of money. Arsenal, still interested in Declan Rice. Manchester United reportedly interested in Declan Rice and proposing a player plus cash deal for Declan Rice, which, in my opinion, would be the best way to acquire Declan Rice. Why go out there and spend 100 million when you can include a homegrown player in a deal for West Ham? It makes sense for them to get a good player. They're not getting a great player. In fact, you are arguably not even getting a good player, but they're getting a player. They're getting a player in return in Harry Maguire or McTominay. So question to the live chat, if you could get rid of one of those two players in a swap deal, who would it be? Would it be Maguire or would it be McTominay on the way out as a make weight? Let us know. My thoughts on that, definitely Maguire. Definitely Maguire, because it just increases the likeliness that we're going to sign a top centre-back as well to help out. Plus, he's on big money, isn't he, Maguire? He's on about 180k or 200k a week, this guy. That's insane for a guy who's literally awful. So it doesn't really add up to keep him at the football club. And actually, I think it makes the most sense for a move for that guy. Yeah, lots of people in the live chat saying Maguire. Makes sense for a move for that guy to actually go away somewhere as well. So I know Gareth Southgate seems to have some sort of man crush or, you know, behind the closed doors relationship going on with Harry Maguire. That's what it seems like, because he selects him every single week for the England national team, and it doesn't really add up. But there you go. I guess there's not a huge talent pool to choose from England centre-back wise. But he's going to have to play football if he wants to retain his place in the England squad. Surely he can't just be third or fourth choice at Manchester United and never play in the Premier League and, you know, and still get into the England setup. So I think from Maguire's point of view, it makes sense for him to try and get a move away this summer anyway. So I do think he will leave this summer. I don't see him being another Phil Jones T-boy who just wants to hang around and get paid and not play football. To credit Maguire, anytime he's out on the pitch, he gives it his all. You know, he's a decent sort of a character in terms of his leadership and stuff. He always tries. He's fundamentally flawed, especially for a Ten Hag team. I don't think he fits Ten Hag's philosophy or the way Manchester United should be going about it in an attacking sense, because he leaves us exposed too much on the back, being a complete slow player. So he's very, very slow, and he doesn't really fit United. But for the right team, he'd be good. So yeah, for his own benefit, go away, get some game time, play, have a big role in the team, go away and be the captain somewhere else, and you know, and have a real good role in the side, and then get yourself in the England team. That makes sense. So yeah, Maguire out is the one I would choose. But again, I wouldn't really be too bothered. It would be good. Thank you. Miss you too, Boomy. Much love to you. Hey, Hammerhead. What's going on? Arsenal Manic getting in here as well. What's going on? Okay. So there you go. There's the latest on Declan Rice, guys. We could be going in for him with a cheeky offer. We might be able to get rid of a player in return. They might even favour having a Scott McTominay in the deal as well. I mean, I suppose it could happen where we got rid of both of those players at the same time. I mean, that would truly be a piece of fantastic business. We actually need to do some good business in regards to getting rid of players, because we're terrible at buying players, it seems, but we're equally as awful at getting rid of players. We haven't really got good money for any player for several years now that we have sold, other than, you know, maybe Dan James. Dan James was a decent sort of sale because we did make a profit on Dan James. But other than Dan James, it's hard to really think of any players that we've sold that we've done really well selling. You know, we've spent 85 million on Pogba. Let him go. We went for nothing. You know, the list goes on. There's so many poor acquisitions we've made, and then the inability to sell these players for any decent money. I mean, look at this. Obviously, yesterday, you know, the guy spoke about it last night on the show. But I just want to give you my thoughts and opinions on the whole Zidane Iqbal situation. I don't think he's good enough for the first team at 20 years of age. You know, he's a bit of a weakling. He's got talent. He's got raw ability. I just don't understand this deal at all from Man United's point of view. Why the hell would you let a young prospect go for £1 million? Yeah, we might have a sell-on clause, unless the sell-on clause is 100%. And even then, it doesn't really make sense, because you're just, you know, increasing the likeliness that you can't get him back at one point in the future. Maybe he flourishes. More than likely, he won't be that good of a player in the future to the point where we would want to go and bring him back. But let's just say that does happen. Well, surely it doesn't make sense to let him go for £1 million. It's ridiculous. We get bent over all the time in the market. We have to overspend to buy players, and then we get completely cheaped out on when we sell players. It doesn't add up. Why the hell are we letting players go for £1 million? Any player. It's madness. He's 20. He's a hot prospect playing for Manchester United. Surely he's worth 8 mil. You know what I mean? Well, surely he's worth £8 million or something like that. Why is he going for £1 million? It's madness, I tell you. It's madness. It makes zero sense. Loan him out for a year. Loan him out for 2 years. Loan him out. Keep him on the books. Let him get game time. Let him play. Let him develop. You might be able to sell him for more money in the future. Or you might actually give him the opportunities to prove himself that he's a good enough player to get into your squad at some point. But no, we'll just sell him for £1 million to Utrecht. Fuck's that all about, guys? It's absolutely madness, honestly. I don't get that at all. Smash a 1 if you agree. That just doesn't make any sense, and we shouldn't have let him go for £1 million. and we should have probably loaned him out, or maybe, I don't know, just given him some opportunities. It's not like we've seen a lot from him over the years, is it? It's nonsense, says Sonic Asylum. Roy Keane would be throwing punches. 850k is a disgrace, to be honest, as Zed explained. I know, what is this, 1978? You know what I mean? 1978, is it? So what's going on? 850,000? That's a madness, that, guys. Honestly, I don't understand. Piss poor from Manchester United's, board to allow that to happen, if you ask me. Look, there'll still be some clauses within the deal, I'm sure. I believe Manchester United have like a 35 or a 40% sell-on clause. So, if we sell him for 10, if Utrecht sell him for £10 million in the future, then we get £4 million. Nice. Okay, then. And if Manchester United want first refusal on him, essentially we can get him because, it's going to cost us 40% less to buy him back. But it's not a proper buyback clause. It's like seemingly a sell-on clause. But look, I guess we don't know the intricacies of the deal to that extent. But even so, I think it's poor business from Manchester United. Thank you, Chris Webber. I appreciate you a lot, sir. So I don't think Zidane Iqbal was good enough to get into the team, and he probably wouldn't have been playing any football this season. But a loan move makes a lot more sense than letting him go for 850k. V2 plus 10, thank you for the super chat, you legend. He says, hey, Piggy, missed you, mate, in the most manly way possible. Hope you are well, mate. Thank you very much, V2 plus 10. Well, I'm hanging in there, bud. I know it's obviously a tough time at the moment, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, V2 plus 10. Yeah, there's lots of stuff coming up, and it's been a tough time just organising things and getting things sorted, and dealing with the grief of it all and everything. It's been tricky, but the thought of coming back here and doing these streams and has been keeping me going a little bit. And I'm feeling good to be back, guys. I'm feeling good to be back. So thank you, V2 plus 10. It's great to be back, my lad. Thank you for the super chat as well. Get some love in there for V2 plus 10, aka V12. I have lost weight, Anne-Marie. Yep, you're right. I have lost a bit more weight. So this morning I weighed 14 stone 13. You what? That's right. Piggy's the biggest loser. I have lost nearly 8 stone now, guys. That is true. So I weighed 14 stone 13 this morning, absolutely. Thank you for noticing. I have lost a bit more weight, and now I'm almost at a normal weight for a human being, which is good, guys. So yeah, thank you for that. Right, anyway, guys, we're nearly at 100 likes. Keep hitting the like button. Smash the thumbs up button if you haven't done so. Let's get this sucker to 100. Right then, so let me cover the rest of the news that we've got here, guys. So, yeah, there's, Zidane Iqbal. I think it's a disgrace. Declan Rice, please say it so. Let's bring him in. I've always rated him, to be honest. I do think he is a good player. He fits the homegrown quota. Yeah, he's too much money. You have to pay that English premium to get these players. But if this story is to be believed, and Man United could perhaps broker a deal where we essentially get rid of Maguire or McTominay or both, I would say it's an absolute fantastic piece of business. Let's say they would want both of them and we could give them 55 million and get Rice and get rid of those two who have just been stinking up the gaff. It's a great deal. And if we could give them 70 million or 75 million and give them Maguire, that's also a great deal. I don't want to spend 100 million on the guy, but certainly if we could do that, it would represent decent value for money, I think. Because let's face it, Mason Mount is being talked about as a £65 million player from Chelsea. That's ridiculous. Okay, let's also talk about some of the latest news that's been happening over the last 24, 48 hours. And then we'll get into the live chat, of course, at the end of the show. Have a big Q&A with you legends. Great to have you all in here, by the way. Sorry if I missed any of you individually, but just thank you, everyone, for getting in here. And thank you for all the lovely messages and support you've been showing me since I've been away. Okay, so there are some new reports about Harry Kane. I don't really want to dwell too much on Harry Kane, because it's quite unrealistic, just because Spurs are absolute dirt to deal with. And they probably will be asking for way too much money for Harry Kane. We've gone over the deal previously on the channel about what sort of value Harry Kane would be for Manchester United. He's 70 million at most, if you ask me. But for 70 million, what you'd be getting is a proven goal scorer. He got 30 Premier League goals in the season just gone, with, let's face it, an ultimately gash Spurs team. Just the fact that he's able to do that shows you what sort of clinicality he's got within the league. He's got the experience, he's got the quality, he's got the vision, all the rest of it. He is obviously proven. And that's what United need right now. As Eddie said earlier, we need some plug-in and play players, as well as some prospects. But he is a plug-in and play player. you could put him in the team. I mean, look at how England played against North Macedonia the other night, but Kane's getting on the score sheet. Did you see that move where Rashford's played in Luke Shaw, and then Luke Shaw's played it back across goal, and who's in the right place, right time, peeling away into space? It's Harry Kane. You know, that was the sort of goal you could probably see time and time again at Manchester United if we were to sign Harry Kane. Rashford combining with Luke Shaw and putting it on a plate for Kane. He's got that vision, he's got that movement, and he's a good player, guys. Anybody that says otherwise is a melter, if you ask me. He might not be your favourite player, but he's proven in the league. So, you know, there may well be better options out there in terms of youth. Rasmus Højlund, Osterman, you know, these guys get mentioned a lot. For me, though, Kane would still be the number one choice that we could go and get. But Tottenham are scum. They want too much money. 100 million is what they're supposedly asking for this guy with a year left on his contract and potentially wanting away. But look, this report anyway, take it with a pinch of salt, but it says Harry Kane still hopes for Manchester United that we'll resurrect our bid to sign him this summer if Tottenham chief Daniel Levy lowers his £100 million demand. Yeah, that's too much money, guys. Have your say in the live chat. What's the absolute upper limit that you'd pay for Harry Kane this summer? Let me know. To me, it's 70 mil. 70 mil, you know, it's a huge amount of money. Spurs shouldn't even be getting that much based on the fact that he probably wants to go because he can't win anything at Spurs and he's only got a year left on his deal there. So for me, that would be great bit of business for Spurs to get that amount of money for a player who is 30, who is not got that long left, and who clearly, well, not clearly, but who, in my opinion, probably shouldn't want to stay at Spurs because he's just going to end up being one of those guys that, yeah, gets a lot of stats, but he's not getting the accolades in regards to winning medals or trophies. And surely from a player who's going to hang up his boots in a few years' time, you would think he'd want to go and have the actual opportunity to do that. That's never going to happen at Spurs because they're just an absolute bottle club. Okay, lots of people saying 70 million. Ezio says 70. Shazad says 75. Lewis says 80. And Sosa and ZX Flames and FCG. Thank you, account CB. It's good to be back, lad. Gungshi says 70 to 80 at most. Yeah, precisely. 40 million says Duncan Bleefer. 150 million says Alfonsini. 60 with add-ons possibly, says Chris Koo. Good to see you as well, King Slayer, lad. You'd be okay with 80 max. Levy is a pain to deal with. Yeah, and again, I mean, look, we've still got some bargaining chips that we could deal with here. So Tottenham might want one of our want-away players in return. Maybe, you know, a McTominay type player or a Maguire type player. We've talked about the prospect of him being used, or one of these players being used in a swap deal with Declan Rice. But, you know, we do have some bargaining chips on the table. I don't know why they would want any of those guys, but look, it's a possibility. So you might be able to chip away at the overall figure that they want and include a player. It's unlikely. That doesn't really happen that much in modern day football, does it? All these swap deals. It really doesn't happen that much, but it can happen. So, you know, that's a possibility. But yeah, I agree with you guys. But let's ask the chat again here. If you could just sign one forward, one goal scorer, which is what we need, one goal scorer for Manchester United this summer, who would it be? So I'm sticking with Kane still. I know that most people are probably going to say Højlund or Osterman or whatever, but for me, I would still go with Kane. He got 30 goals last season for those Spuds. He's obviously going to still be good enough to do it for Manchester United for a couple of seasons. Yeah, you know, you're not going to have longevity out of him like you would a young player like Declan Rice, who could be here for 13 years, say. But you get a few seasons of him smashing the goals in, and it would be awesome. He would be the missing piece of the puzzle for United in a lot of ways. Højlund says Ezio. Kane says K and Joey. Shazad says both. Kingslayer says Vlahovic. Kane is too expensive. Pig says must play. Yes and no. I mean, what do we pay for Casemiro, guys? What was it now? Was it 60 million or 70 million? It was a heck of a lot of money. He was old. He was 30. But nobody really has a big problem with Casemiro being in the team because he's quality. That's what Kane's going to give you. Kane's going to give you that as well. He's going to give you those goals for a few seasons. And then, you know, it's off into the sunset for Harry Kane. But for a few seasons, he could give you lots and lots of goals. And that's all we need, really. We need somebody up there who can score goals. I mean, we've been playing with Wout Weghorst for 6 months, guys. That's mental. You know, that is actually mental when you think about it. He scored 2 in 20 at Burnley, and he was at the top of our pitch for us. It's madness. Tony Martial, fucking hell. Tony Martial, more like, he's awful in terms of staying fit. He can't stay fit. He's the ultimate sick note. He makes Darren Anderton seem robust. You know, he is awful. So get rid of him and get some money back for him, get him off our books. He's being paid a lot of money per week, and invest it in Harry Kane. That makes a little bit of sense for me. Yeah. So, yeah, we paid a lot of money for Casemiro. There you go, Stephanie Griffith and Shazad. So we paid a lot for him. He's obviously going to be great for us for a couple of seasons. We need some players who are going to be fantastic prospects, some great young players who are going to develop into some of the world's best, maybe some players who you can acquire for a bit cheaper. But we also do need a good mix of youth and experience. So you need to go and get a couple of players this summer that are ready-made, that can come in and score you the goals and plug the holes that we've got. Casemiro did it last season for us at midfield, and Kane could do that this season for us at striker. He would plug those holes. So anyway, I hope this article has some sort of weight and that Kane would be interested in move to United. It seems like Man United have cooled their interest a little bit on Harry Kane just because it is a nightmare to deal with Spurs. But it's one of those transfers that could rumble on all summer long. You could be seeing us linked with Harry Kane repeatedly throughout the summer, and it might happen on the last day of the transfer window. It's that sort of transfer dealing, which is annoying, but ultimately, if we do end up getting the player that we need to fix and solve a lot of our problems at the top of the pitch, then I'm all for it, guys. It would be fantastic to see him aboard Man United. I honestly do think he would be exactly what we need. Exactly, ZX Frames. Kane is literally perfect. Yeah, just for a few seasons. Just for a few seasons, he would be perfect. Vincent Bullock, welcome back, mate, into the chat. He says, the real one, it's great to have you back. The place has been a mess without you, only joking. The people who covered did a great job. Yes, they really did. I'm going to keep having them on. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. The 6 legends. Absolutely agree. Kane is our Sheringham, says Sosa. Certainly. Well, there you go. He could be our Sheringham. He could be our RVP. When you think about Man United signing RVP from Arsenal, he wasn't super young. What was he, guys? I can't even remember now, but he was like 30 or something. He was older. He was an older individual, 31 or 32 even, maybe. I don't know. 30, he was in that region. He was a similar age. 28 says it's, oh, okay, well, you know. But are you sure? But either way, Robin Van Persie was not a young spring chicken. He was approaching 30 or around about a similar age. And what did he do? He fired us to the title that first season that he came in, right? And that's all we really need Harry Kane to do, is for a couple of seasons to provide those goals. And he would do that. He scores 30 goals in a shit Spurs team. I mean, people bang on about Erling Haaland. And yeah, Erling Haaland is quite something. And he scored, what, 36 goals in the league this season in the Premier League? Unprecedented. Yeah, he's ridiculous. Kane's doing it for Spurs. How many goals would Kane get playing for City? Answer me that in the chat, guys. I say at least 36. You might think I'm being crazy there, but I honestly just think City are such a more dominant team. They're going to create a lot more chances, a lot more better chances. And so, therefore, it's easier for Haaland to score the goals than it is for Kane to do it at Spurs. And not only that, but Kane also has different facets to his game where he's a good creator. Haaland's just, you know, he's just that demon on the last man, scoring goals in the box, physical, scoring goals. You know, Kane's got much more to his game. He's got that ability to drop deep and create and play make as well. So in a lot of ways, Kane's better than Haaland. In a lot of ways, he is. Not in every way, but in a lot of ways he is actually. 50 goals says Shazad, 40 says Vincent, 50 says Boomy, 40 says Stephanie Griffith. Dutch Christ says Kane, 50 for City. I hope you're keeping well, Dutch Christ. Thank you for becoming a member again yesterday, by the way, lad. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, Haaland's not a team player like Kane is he, Stephanie? I completely agree. So there you go. That's the difference we've got here. It's like, yeah, Kane is a proven quality player. So if we went and got him, it gives us a chance of competing with those City scumbags for the title next season. He literally could give you that chance. So anyway, there's the bit of an update on Kane. Hopefully it's true. Hopefully Kane wants United, and hopefully United want Kane. I know it's a nightmare dealing with Spurs, and it's just a headache. Daniel Levy, he just wants too much money for all of his players, but it can happen. Kane's got a year left on his deal. Spurs, if they want to do business and want to make some good money and want to reinvest that into the team and get some good players this summer, they will have to think about it at the very least. Think about selling Harry Kane and trying to generate cash for a player that could walk away in a year's time for nothing. That's the reality. So, yeah, I think that they will consider it this summer. We've got to tempt them with a good offer, and I don't think it's going to be a small amount of money, but I certainly don't think it'll be anywhere near 100 mil. Okay, right, let's get on to the next piece of business then, or, you know, more rumours, reports coming here that Man United have spoken with Adrian Rabiot's mother / agent It's her again. Ten Hag remains a big fan since trying to sign him last year. So, you know, we've heard about what it's like to deal with Rabiot's mother, and it's kind of like what it's like dealing with Daniel Levy at Spurs. It's not easy, by all accounts. Now, you know, Rabiot seems like a decent player in the squad as a backup, as an option. So I'm not going to rule it out, but he's just like kind of like a meh signing for me. It's not really that high on the agenda for me. If we can add a bit of depth, if we're going to get rid of Fred and Scott McTominay, say, it does make sense to add some players to the ranks. And if that's who Ten Hag wants, fine. But to me, it's like I'm just not bothered by Rabiot at all. He seems pretty average to me. Understood that Juve want to keep him. A decision is expected in the next few days. So, Rabiot, guys, yes or no in the chat? Let's see what you guys are saying. Would you like to see Rabiot join Manchester United? Thank you, A. Myers. It's great to see you back. Sean Brown says, avoid Rabiot at all costs. Is Mams a divvy? Bloody hell, Sean Brown. Well, I think she's pretty difficult to deal with. That's the thing. It's tough when you're dealing with any agent, but when that agent happens to be someone's mum, you know, that's more complex, isn't it? It's more complex. They want what's best for them. And they just, you know, it's difficult. He's another Pogba, says Sean Brown. Yeah, for depth, yes, but not first team regular. I completely agree, Boomy. Yeah, completely agree with you. So, yeah, that's the story that's doing the rounds. Not overly enamored by that story. Probably doesn't have that much weight either. But there's also just a point at the end here. So I saw this on Fabrizio Romano's timeline on Twitter. He retweeted this from Court Offside. He obviously does some stuff for them as well. And he said that, where it says, Man United have also sounded out Andre Onana. What's my name? Onana. What's my game? The goalkeeper situation is a strange one. Yeah, no, he would be a good signing, actually, I think. Onana would be a good signing. But in terms of the realism of that, well, we have to wait and see what happens with David De Gea. So there are, the latest reports with David De Gea are that he is unwilling to go down from his 375k a week wage at the moment, and Man United are interested in signing him up for another contract, but essentially don't want to spend that amount of money committed every single week for De Gea. And I understand that, to be fair. I mean, this guy has been a fantastic servant to the club. Was it 11, 12 years at the club? He's won the league when he was here under Sir Alex Ferguson. He's done some brilliant things in his career for Manchester United. There is a time to part ways with every player. I still think he's a great player, but I understand a lot of the criticism levelled at him. I mean, the fact is he got the Golden Glove this season in the Premier League for the most clean sheets. That doesn't happen if you're a bad keeper, especially in a team that, well, isn't the most defensively robust. So I think De Gea proved himself yet again this season. I think he had a great season. He did make some really bad high-profile errors, particularly in that Sevilla game. And was it the Southampton game, or, you know, when he had that flubber hand incident? He had some bad incidents. But, you know, he's a great player. He's a great player, but he doesn't necessarily fit with how Ten Hag maybe wants to play for the future going forward. There is more of an emphasis in today's game on playing out from the back and having that ability to distribute well and just being a little bit more cool with the ball at your feet as a goalkeeper and playing out from the back. And that's what I think Ten Hag does want to do. So it doesn't really bother me that much if De Gea goes, even though I love him. As weird as that sounds to say, because it seems like Ten Hag wants to do things slightly differently with David De Gea at the football club now. With other, you know, with the style of play at the football club, and obviously David De Gea at the club doesn't necessarily fit into that. So, keep or sell, guys. What do you reckon? It's not even sell though, is it? It's just let him go. Hey, Tactician Tom, it's my brother. What is he going on about? It's my brother Tom. He says, to Cristiano Ronaldo, who can reach areas other footballers just cannot reach, whose grasp of the improbable is utterly unique, and whose timing, whose maximising of the moment is unparalleled. Surely anywhere in the history of the game. This guy just loves Cristiano Ronaldo. I was telling him last night to please stop talking to me about Cristiano Ronaldo. He just won't stop. You know, if you could just get a room with Ronaldo, please, that'd be nice. But no, to be fair to Ronaldo, look, let's just, you mentioned it. I don't want to talk about it that much. But 200 appearances internationally is a record. It's pretty insane. Fair play to him. Let's get some Ronaldo emojis and Sue's in the chat. He is one of the most legendary footballers ever, if not the most. He is. But it doesn't fundamentally change the way that he departed Manchester United, which was in disgrace. Doing an interview with that Piers Morgan melter, throwing Ten Hag under the bus and some of the players. I don't care who you are. He's a scumbag. There you go. I love him, but I also hate him. You know what I mean? He's that sort of guy. All right, anyway, he did save Portugal against Iceland, exactly. So on his 200th appearance, he scored in the 89th minute to get them the winner. I mean, he's some player. He is the most clutch player in the history of the game. And you have to respect him. But you don't have to like him. You don't have to like him. The big guy says need to get Onana in ASAP. Yeah, I thought Onana would be a fantastic fit for Manchester United. Great goalkeeper. Great with his feet. Great in terms of having that confidence to have the ball at his feet in the back there. Even when people are closing him down, etc. He seems like a good option for Ten Hag going forward. I like it. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think maybe now's the time for De Gea to go, as hard as it is to say. And if he stays and he signs a new contract, I'm happy because I think he's been great. And this is another proven season where he's been great. It's just that I think maybe United could benefit from having a different style goalkeeper in the sticks these days. In this modern game, in this modern era, you do kind of need somebody who has that ability to distribute to a high level from the back and who is confident with their feet and is just, you know, it's just a little bit better than De Gea is at that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it does make sense, guys. So there you go. De Gea could be replaced this summer. It depends. If De Gea does end up leaving, then that's going to be another big problem area of the team that we have to address imminently. So it changes the focus of what we need to do this summer transfer window. The focus changes from now we need to sign a midfielder and a striker to we really do have to get a replacement goalkeeper in there because Henderson's not the answer, is he? I'd sell Henderson in a heartbeat, get 20 million quid and put that towards, you know, getting some quality. Henderson's all right, but no, he's not the answer. Also, another player that could be sold, it was mentioned by the guys yesterday on the stream. Shout out to all the legends once again for covering for me. Maisie, Jarvis, John Shin, Eddie's Football Waffle, Griffo, Errol, Mick, all the legends. Thank you so much for helping out with the channel recently, guys. But Fred is being talked about as a target for Fulham. £20 million is what's being discussed. He's getting on a little bit now. My opinion is that's cheap for Fred, though. It's again, if he was to go for 20 million quid, it's again another example of Manchester United getting bent over in the window. Because we signed him for, what was it? I don't know, 53 million quid plus add-ons, a huge amount of money, something like that. He was a very, very expensive signing. He is older now, and he has proven to be very much hit or miss. He is the type of guy to put in worldy performances and then go to put in Maguire-esque performances in and just being very, very poor. But he's a good squad player, and he's got a good attitude, and I like his tenacity, and I like his effort levels and all that sort of stuff. I would probably keep Fred in the squad and just focus on getting other players in and selling other players. I'd rather see Scott McTominay gone out the door and us buy another quality midfielder, and then Fred just becomes a literal backup option, than to see us sell him for 20 mil. I mean, that seems cheap, guys. This is a player that plays in the Brazil setup and has done good things for Manchester United in the past. It's not like Scotty McTominay, who's constantly at a real low level for United, who's just gash, has the odd spike here and there. I mean, he's great for Scotland. He did it again last night, didn't he, Scott McTominay? But he's shit for Man United. Whereas Fred, at least 50% of the time, you are going to get a great performance from him. He's kind of just rolling the dice on Fred, really. But that's better than McTominay, if you ask me. He's more consistent in terms of putting in good performances than Scott McTominay is. So I wouldn't sell him for 20 mil. I'll be honest. I don't think that represents good value for us. He is getting on a little bit, but don't know, guys. What do you reckon? Keep or sell for 20 mil? Again, I'm not bothered if he goes because it's a player that's not in the first team anyway. He's never going to be a first team choice for me at all at Manchester United. So I'm not bothered if he goes for 20 mil if we use that money to sign somebody else. But just in the grand scheme of things, looking around the rest of the squad, there's certainly other players we could get rid of, and he would be a decent backup squad player. You do need some squad players who are okay with not being the star and who can come on towards the end of games or play in cup games or whatever the case may be and have those legs. And he is a player who's fit and robust and runs around and is a nuisance. And so, you know, but a lot of people saying sell in the live chat here. Shazad says sell. Thank you, Super Fat Frank. Johnny says sell. Thank you, Kay and Jerry says keep thumbs up in for the pig. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we've hit 126 likes. That's awesome. Keep smashing that like button if you haven't done. Let's see if we can get 150. Drop a thumbs up in it. It helps the channel out. It helps the stream out. Then it helps us boost up on the algorithm and compete with clickbait, wank stains, and corporation mugs. So do hit that thumbs up button. It's free. And also, if you're new to this channel, smash the subscribe button because we're going to be covering all the latest United news on this channel all summer. Hey, Spooky Gore, great to see you as well. And Jim Watkins, a couple of the legends. I hope you guys have been keeping well. Thank you for joining us. And Enigma Owl as well. Shout out to you. Yeah, Fred is Brazil versus Teamer, says Arsenal Manic. Sal says Mohammed. It's cheap for a Brazil international, isn't it? 20 mil. Any Brazil international, really. Sal says Duncan. Sell for 30, says Fat Chinese Gamer. Yes, now you're talking FCG. For that sort of money, it makes sense. But for 20 mil, it doesn't really make that much sense. Thank you, John Tracy. Hope you're good as well, bud. And Cass says sell. Fair enough. I understand it, though. Fred's really not that level. He's not a first-team player for Manchester United anymore. We need to be looking at getting quality in there. So, yeah, again, with Fred, I'm not overly bothered about that, guys. So, for Fred, for 20 million quid, I suppose it wouldn't be the worst thing, but it seems like we would be getting bent over a little bit again. It would be bad negotiations from us. Surely we can squeeze a little bit more money out. Or I liked what Maisie said, actually, on the show last night in regards to Palhinha at Fulham. You know, we could have a little conversation about maybe doing some sort of a swap deal there. Obviously, maybe not if you're going to sign Declan Rice. But if you aren't going to sign Declan Rice, then getting Palhinha in would actually make a heck of a lot of sense in itself. So perhaps you could do something there. Okay then. Hey, thank you, Phone Monkey, for the highlighted member comment, boss. He says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Phone Monkey 187. He's been a member for 19 months. This guy, hashtag 19 for the Don. Thank you to Phone Monkey 187. Let's get some hashtag 19s in the chat. Gungshi says 20 million is too cheap for our Pastor Fred. Spot on. I think it is a little bit too cheap. 25 to 30 million makes sense. I mean, how old is Fred now? Is he 30? Let's have a look. Fred, Man United. Let's see how old this guy is. 30. Yeah, he's 30 years of age. So he's no spring chicken either. You know, you can't expect to get huge money. You can't expect for him to go to the sort of money we paid for him. But I think he is worth a little bit more than that. He's a very energetic player. He is a Brazil international. I think he's worth 30 million. What do you reckon, guys? What do you think the value of Fred is in this current market? Let us know in the chat, but I'm going 30 mil. Hey, K Slater says, my fear is if we sell, but don't bring in someone better. Well, yeah, that can't happen. That can't happen. If we're Man United are going to let something like Fred go, we've got to go out there and invest and bring in a quality player. Like if we were to go and get Rice and sell Fred and maybe include Maguire or McTominay in a swap deal, it makes sense to perhaps go and do that. But it doesn't really add up if you're not going to bring anybody in. I hope you're good, K-Slater, you Don. Anything less than 30 to 35 is not worth it, says Superstar. Kingslayer says 20 to 25 max. Lewis says the same. And Cass says 25. Duncan reckons 30. Vincent Bullock's going Fred 40 million. Bloody hell. Spinsu says 35. Stephanie says 35. He's worth a bit more than 20, isn't he, guys? Well said, well said. Okay, so let's cover the rest of I've got a few little tidbits of United news. We haven't done a stream for a little while, so just catching up with some of the stuff. I've got a few little tidbits of United news. Then we'll get back into the main stuff, and then we'll get into the Q&A for a chat, guys. But thank you, everyone, once again for being here on my first stream back in, well, over 3 weeks it's been, actually, since I've done a stream. So shout out to you all for being here. Thanks for watching and supporting and being patient for me to get back. Okay, so Garnacho has been named on the 100-man Golden Boy shortlist. Thank you, Thana Win, for subscribing to the channel, by the way. Hit that subscribe if you're new to the show. Garnacho has been named on the 100-man Golden Boy shortlist. Rightfully so. That's the shortlist of players that get awarded for, I think it's under 21, isn't it? And he's obviously not going to win it, but nice to see that he's being honoured in that way and he's being considered as a really fantastic young player. He is a fantastic young player. The impact that he has in a lot of games for us is evident. I mean, even in like the cup final, it's like he's one of the players that looking like he could make something happen when he comes off the bench. He's just a class act, this Garnacho. So yeah, I was hoping that we'd see a little bit more from him this season just gone, but we have developed him slowly and steadily. And I think this season coming up, it makes sense to unleash him. So Jadon Sancho has proven himself to be an inconsistent melter. As far as I'm concerned, Alejandro Garnacho is above him in the pecking order. I would be bringing on Garnacho to deputise for Rashford on the left wing going forward, rather than say Sancho, because Rashford is going to be that first choice there once we've signed a proper striker. He's going to be the first choice at left wing. But, you know, you need a player to rotate. You need a player to sub on. You need a player to come in and play games. You know, Rashford can't play them all. So I think that's where we're going to see Garnacho flourishes this season. He's going to get a lot more opportunities in game time. But yeah, Viva Garnacho, absolutely, Stephanie. He's had a good breakout season, if you want to call it that. Sphinxu, thank you for the £2 super chat, mate. Get in there. Let's get some love in the chat for him. He says, McTominay swap deal. Sell Fred for Paulina from Fulham. Well said. I mean, yeah, absolutely. We were talking about that a moment ago. Couldn't agree more with you, Sphinxu. If we could make that happen, absolutely would be brilliant. It would be like, you know, it would be like killing two birds with one stone. You get rid of a melter or two and you get in a quality player. So I couldn't agree more with you. That would be the best thing that could happen, is if we could include McTominay or Maguire in a Declan Rice swap deal, or even consider doing a swap with Fulham for Paulini. I couldn't agree with you more. Thank you, Most High overall. I appreciate you, bud. Stephanie says Facundo Palistra will be a star for us this season, hopefully as well. That's a great shout too. Hopefully we see more of him. As far as young prospects go, I was disappointed with the amount of game time he was given this season just gone, especially after some of his really good sort of cameo performances where he did look so good. But, you know, Ten Hag sort of tends to be bringing these youngsters on. That's one thing. I was expecting to see more development of the youth under Ten Hag, but he's not really done that. But, yeah, next season, Palistra, I couldn't agree more. Sell Ahmad Diallo for 40 mil, says UK Strange. What about Diallo, says Kay and Joey. Okay, so Ahmad Diallo had a good season on loan in the Championship. Very good by all accounts. I didn't watch any of it, but very good by all accounts. You've got to give him a chance. You've got to give him a chance at United, I think, just to see if he can step up and do the job. But we've got so many players there, don't we? They're not all able to play, so somebody's going to have to get loaned out, whether it's Facundo, whether it's Ahmad Diallo. Somebody's going to have to get loaned out. So, I don't know. I would give him some chances in pre-season, that kind of thing, and just see how he does. But if he doesn't blow the socks off anyone, then I suggest that we probably loan him out again. There you go. But if you could get 40 million for him, UK Strange, maybe it makes sense. I don't think anybody's mad enough to spend 40 million on him other than Manchester United. The Gaming Simp, what's going on, you Don? How are you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for getting in here with a £10 super chat. Thank you, The Gaming Simp. That's very nice of you, lad. Let's get some love in the chat there for The Gaming Simp. Thank you, bud. He says, great to see you back, bro. Thank you, The Gaming Simp, a.k.a. Don Berber. It's great to be back. And, you know, it is nice to see you. Nice to see you nice. Thank you, Gaming Simp. It's good to be back, mate. It's great to see all the legends in the live chat, such as yourself. Thank you for all your patience and support and just being a legend. Thank you, Gaming Sim. Let's get some mad love in the chat for the Simp. Sub 2 City Extra, the Mancunian Way. How are you doing, mate? I haven't seen you for ages. What's going on there? Sub 2's in the house. How you doing? I haven't seen you for a long time. What is going on with you, mate? I'm glad I haven't seen you in a long time, because you would have no doubt been insufferable with your Man City doing the treble, which hopefully ends up in the history books as no trophies by, you know, for being found out for being cheating bastards. But no, look, obviously they were the best team this season. They really were, but they're still an ensemble of cheating bastards. That's what they are. Marky Harris, thank you for the highlighted comment, being a member for 1.5 years. That's a special one, lad. Let's get hashtag 18 in there for Mark Harris. Thank you, Marky Harris, you absolute legend. Great to see you as well. Thank you for your kind email as well. And great to see you again. He says, hey, sexy man, love you, sending a hug from Ozoland. Thank you. Good day, mate, from down under. I appreciate that a lot, Mark Harris. Honestly, thanks for being a member. Thanks for sticking out with us all this time. Time flies when you're having fun, eh? Great to see you, Mark Harris. Hope you're keeping well, bud. Gungshi, thank you for the $6.90 Taiwanese dollar super chat there, you hero. Thank you, Don Gungshi says, you are amazing. Oh, Gungshi, thank you very much indeed. You are something else, but I really appreciate it, honestly. That's very, very nice of you. Guys, just get some love in there for Gungshi, sending in a you are amazing super sticker. That's very, very nice of you. Thank you, Gungshi. You're a hero, honestly. You are, you know, when I grow up, I want to be like Don Gungshi. That's for real. Mark Harris has sent in 10 memberships on the channel. What? Marky Harris has gifted out 10 members. Look at this Phil Jones parade. You know, make the most of this while you can, guys, this gurning creature, because he may not be here all that much longer, because he has gone. He has departed Manchester United. But look at that. We have got a whole bunch of new members, 10 new members, thanks to Mark Harris, the Don from Down Under. Thank you very much, Mark Harris. Honestly, that's really nice of you, mate. We're back with a bang today, lads and lasses. Thank you, Marky Harris, dude. He's gifted out a member to Superfat Frank, Compost Smurf, Martin Carlo, Joey, Kay and Joey, Stephanie Griffith, Kingslayer, Superfat Frank, A. Meyer, Jim Watkins, Gaming Simp, and sub to City Extra the Mancunian Way. Get in there, guys. Welcome back into all the members there. Thanks for the 10 members there. That's very, very kind of you. Very generous. Just get some love hearts in there for Mark Harris as well, guys. That's very, very nice. What a legend. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Gungshi as well for gifting out 10 members earlier and just being a legend. The Cake Cadet. Thank you, the Cake Cadet, for the £5 super chat. He says, welcome back, Piggy. Hope you're holding up okay, and much love to you, pal. Thank you, Cake Cadet. I am, I am doing okay, all things considered. It's obviously really tough when you lose a parent, especially your mum, to be honest. It knocked me for 6, to be perfectly honest with you guys. It's just such a shock. And she was ill for a couple of weeks, but, it's just such a shock, to be honest. And I still haven't really accepted it, to be fair. I mean, the funeral's in a couple of weeks' time, at the start of July. My brother and his family are coming over from America. And, it's really, really difficult, to be honest. It has been awful. But, you just got to keep going, don't you? That's the reality of life. It's a tough old thing to deal with, but we're all going to have to deal with it at some point. And unfortunately, I've had to deal with it now. And it is terrible. But there you go. I mean, let's just get some love hearts in the live chat for anybody who's lost a parent or a loved one, because it is one of the toughest things to go through. But just once again, it gives me a chance to say thank you for everybody. I know I didn't respond to everybody's messages individually because there was a lot of messages, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that sent any condolences or kind words to me over these last few weeks, because it does mean a lot, guys, and it really helped me during some dark times and stuff. So thank you very much for this community, the Bacon Brigade. You are indeed a true set of legends, nobody can deny. Thank you, Gaming Sim says, we're always here for you, mate. Thank you so much, buddy. The community will always be here. Thank you, John Tracy. You're absolutely right. It's awful, V2 plus 10. Yeah, it's a big shock, mate, and it's just yeah, it's fucking awful, bud. It's absolutely awful. But there you go. You gotta carry on, don't you? You gotta carry on. Thank you, Stephanie Griffith. Thank you for all of that, then, guys. You're a bunch of heroes. Couple more things to discuss very quickly. Martinez is on the mend. Man United tweet out yesterday. Obviously, Lissandro put on his Insta, I think. Getting closer, Lissandro Martinez there. Getting closer to being back to full fitness. We need him back, guys. The Butcher of Manchester. What a player. The Leecher. Unbelievable season he had for Manchester United. Such an impact. And I can't wait to see him back playing for Manchester United again in hopefully pre-season, and getting him back in the side. Fat Chinese Gaming, thank you for your £5 super chat. You, Don, he says, my father fell asleep back in 2021. It was never easy. But I'm sure that your mother wants you to remain happy and remain strong. Most love to you. Thank you very much, Fat Chinese Gaming, bud. I'm sorry to hear for your loss, bud. Honestly, that is so sad when you lose a parent in any way, at any age, even if they're 100 years old. It's always going to be sad. So I'm sorry that that's happened to you. Both of my parents are gone now, mate. I feel like I'm too young to have no parents left. It's messed up. But everybody's dealt a different hand, aren't they? I just hope that you guys who've got parents left get to spend as long a time as you possibly can with them, and they live to 100 odd. Because it's not a nice feeling when you've not got any parents left, to be honest with you. Fat Chinese Gaming, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate you, bud. Legacy of Outlaws, thank you very much for your super chat as well. He says, I know it's not much, but I'm happy you are back. Sending lots of love, my dear mate. Your mum will always be by your side and inside your heart. Thank you so much, Legacy of Outlaws, man. You're an absolute hero. Very kind words again from you, sir. And let's get some love hearts in there for Legacy as well. You guys are gonna make me a bit emotional, so I'm just gonna move on with the show here. And yeah, new home kit out in a week. Don't buy it. Don't buy it, guys, until those Glazer fuckbags have sold the football club. Okay, then you can buy it. If Sheikh Jassim buys the club, then buy it. But don't buy it until those Glazer fucktards are gone. Okay, there you go. That's the reality, guys. So hashtag Glazers out in the live chat. Let's get some hashtag Glazers out. We need these guys gone. I can't believe this is still raging on the fact that we haven't sold the club yet. It's a disgrace. Don't buy the club. Don't buy the new kit, guys. Don't buy the new kit until they are out. That's all I'm saying. Then you can go ham. Go ham and buy the kit. Fine. But until then, don't do it. It's a disgrace. Yeah, exactly. FCG says, don't buy the new kit until the Glazers have left. I think of a better game than Havertz scoring his first goal for Arsenal against you, says James Todd. Get out. Jamie Todd. Okay, right, guys. I'm just going to do a rundown of what we've talked about in this stream, and then we'll get into the live chat for a bit of a Q&A. Do us a favour, smash the like, hit the subscribes, give it a share. I'm just going to shout out everyone in a minute's time as well who's retweeted the tweet at the top of the live chat. Give us a cheeky retweet. At the top of the chat there's a link to my Twitter. Give us a retweet. I'll shout you all out in a minute. Play the thing, says Kate Cadet. All right, thank you for the super chat. Says play the clip, pig. Hang on, where is it? I don't know if I've got it actually set up here, Kate Cadet. I'm sorry to disappoint you, bud. Do you know what? I don't have it, mate. Sorry, bud. It's not here. It's not here, bud. You're going to be very disappointed. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what. I'll play it on the next one. But I have to find it in my files because it's not actually on my OBS studio thing here any longer. I deleted you, mate. Sorry about that. But there you go. I can't play it right now, bud. But remind me next time and I will do that. Welcome to the Bacon and Egg Brigade to Enigma Owl, who has become a member. Thank you so much, Enigma Owl. Let's get some owl emojis in there for Enigma Owl, who's just become a member of the channel as well. Hey, Wiggy, how are you doing? Thank you, Enigma. That's very kind of you, mate. Thanks for becoming a member. All right, I'm just going to cover the big stories that we've discussed here. Let me just shout out everyone who's retweeted us first. But shout out to the 8 retweeters here, guys. Craig, Feline Fur, Jaden, Eddie's Football Waffle, Boomy, Stu, Kane, and 2 quoted retweets as well from Neil Duffin and also Fat Chinese Gaming. Thank you guys so much for retweeting the show. It helps out. It helps out. Every little helps spread the word. Thank you again, Mark Harris, for the super chat. He says, lasers pumped the share price. They're staying, no sale. Don't do that to us, Mark Harris. No, I honestly think, yeah, there is an element to that. They're trying to get as much money out of this situation as possible and just trying to squeeze more money as they possibly can. But, no, I mean, look, they've got to sell it, don't they? I mean, they will be playing a very difficult game if they don't, because they're playing with people's emotions. There's millions of fans who want to see these guys gone. And if they were to not go at this stage and just stay, there would be an absolute mutiny. There would be a mutiny, I think, and they don't want that. They know they're going to make a heck of a lot of money. Whether they sell it to Sir Jim and he buys a part of the club and they stay on, or Sheikh Jassim buys 100%, they stand to make a huge amount of money. They just want to make as bigger amount of money as they possibly can. So I still expect them to go, but it might not be an overnight thing. It clearly isn't an overnight thing. It's taken 7 months already, and there is a lot that goes into the sale of this club when you're talking about a club that has a valuation of somewhere around 6 billion, it seems. So there's so many different things that they need to address before they can all agree. But I think it will happen sooner rather than later, to be honest. But please don't toy with my emotions that way, Mr. Harris Lad. Kaz Newton, thank you for being a member. 34 months. It's great to see you. He says, Pig, missed you. Hope everything's slowly getting better with time. So happy to see you back. Much love. I mean, it will do, Gaz Newton. It absolutely will do, I'm sure. There's going to be it's just a lot of change and a lot of adaptation. It's an adaptation period right now, to be fair, Gaz Newton. It's messed up, dude. So there you go. But things will get better, I'm sure, with time. Thank you very much for being a member. 34 months. Hashtag 34 for the guy. Chrissy J, thank you for being a member. 17 months and getting your highlight comment in. So many legends getting in here for today's show. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. Chrissy says, great to see you back, lads. Smash that like, peeps. Thank you, Chrissy J. I hope you're keeping well. And thank you for the love and support and the kind message as well, bud. Get in there, my son. Right, let's talk about what I've discussed at the start of the show very quickly for anybody who's just got in the stream. Then we'll have a Q&A. So, Declan Rice is understandably, reportedly, a target for Manchester United this summer. Arsenal are still interested in signing Declan Rice as well, but we could rival them to his signature and propose a player plus cash deal to sign Declan Rice, which would maybe include the likes of Harry Maguire or McTominay or even both. If that was to be the case, then I think it would be a genius move by United, get rid of a shit player and sign a great prospect who's only 22 and has got really bags of potential, fits the England homegrown quota as well, and in my opinion is a much better player than those couple of melters we just mentioned, so he would be a great acquisition. Let's hope that that's true, guys. More will come on that one, but that's reported by the Telegraph and various different outlets that would be the case. Hopefully it's true. Also, breaking news earlier on at the start of the show, we had a fresh report on the Mason Mount situation. David Ornstein reported exclusive. Manchester United have today made an improved bid for Mason Mount. Proposal of £45 million plus £5 million in add-ons. Chelsea countered with £60 million plus £5 million in add-ons. Man United have a limit, while Chelsea are trying to comply with 24-year-old's wishes. No agreement, but getting closer. Again, my opinions on that is it's just way too much money. It's a ridiculous amount to pay, to be fair. And it just doesn't add up. So, as long as As long as it's that amount that Chelsea are wanting, I say walk away. It makes 0 sense for us to go and buy him. See you later on, Mason. Move on to the next target. But if we can negotiate and they can, they can change their insane amount of money they want for him, then he's a decent player. I still don't rate him, and my thoughts are he's bang average. But, for 40 million quid, it makes sense. But considering they've rejected 45 plus 5, or at least countered Man United with a 60 plus 5 offer, meeting them in the middle at 55 million is just way too much, guys. It doesn't add up. It's a ridiculous amount of money to pay for a bang average player. Chrissy says he'll go for 50 million plus add-ons. Fair enough. Yeah, you're probably right, to be fair, Chrissy, but it is too much money in my humble opinion. You could use that 50 million to go and sign like another really top quality player. And I just don't see the appeal with Mason Mount. He's all right. He's decent. He's overhyped. He's another overhyped English player, if you ask me. Anywho, that's the other big news that's come out today. Arsenal, understandingly, still interested in in Declan Rice, but they have now closed in on a Kai Havertz deal as well, so could alter a few things in regards to Rice. We'll see. United expected to make a new offer for Mason Mount for 50 million quid. Harry Kane is still hopeful that United could potentially resurrect a bid to sign him this summer. Man United understood to have spoken with Adrian Rabiot's mother/agent and have an interest in Andre Onana. Fred to Fulham for 20 million quid is reported. Don't really think that that's really good value for us. Hopefully we either keep hold of him or we get a bit more money for him. Garnacho listed on the 100-man Golden Boy shortlist. Lisandro Martinez back in action soon, hopefully. He's getting closer. He's on the mend. Zidane Iqbal gone to Utrecht for £1 million. What an absolute joke. I can't believe we've only sold him for £1 million. It's a shambles for Man United. We are absolute melters in the window, both buying and selling players. I don't know how we managed to get bent over so often. But there you go. That's the latest news, guys. There it is. So let's get into the live chat for a bit of a Q&A. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me waffle on for a while here. Smash that like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Get your thoughts and opinions in the live chat. We're going to dip into the live chat now and see what you guys are saying. So please get your opinions in about anything we've discussed. Mount, Declan Rice, Kane, whoever. Have your say. Now's the time. Fred for 20 million's a steal, says Bubbles. I'm with you. I think that is so cheap for a Brazilian international who's only 30 and is a good player. He's not a great player, but he is a good player. I think that is cheap for Fred. So hopefully we get more money than that for him. Or maybe a potential swap deal for Palhinha or something like that if we're going to do business with Fulham. Yeah, Super Fat Frank CR7 scored another winner for Portugal. Still shameful how Eric Ten Hag and United treated him. What are you talking about, Super Fat Frank, lad? I mean, look, it depends what you believe, but it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't really matter what's gone on behind closed doors. If you're the type of guy to go and do a sit-down interview with that Piers Morgan troglodyte and publicly shame certain players in your squad and publicly shame the manager, then I'm sorry, you're bringing it on yourself. He could have had these conversations behind closed doors. They could have worked something out. You're talking about a player that runs down the tunnel a few minutes before the end of a game because he's not used or he's been asked to come on with only a few minutes left. You know, he's a great player. He's the most clutch player ever, but he's a massive ego, mate. Come on. I love Ronaldo previously and what he did at the club in his first stint at the football club, and even the first season he was back for his second stint was amazing. But nobody's bigger than Manchester United. Neither is Cristiano Ronaldo. And sorry to say, he brought it on himself in a lot of ways. We don't know truly what happened. There was obviously a big breakdown in communication that happened at United. He's probably not 100% at fault. But I think most of the fault lies with Ronaldo for the way that he dealt with that situation. Okay, so we're so awful at sending players to superstar. 1 million, 3 weeks of Sancho's wages. Yeah, it's actually a joke. You would think it'd be worth significantly more than that. 8 million quid, 7 million quid at the very least. It's kind of crazy. It's actually ridiculous. Iqbal sold for $1 million. Someone got a great buy there. Yeah, Mark Harris. I mean, look, I don't think he's good enough to get in the team this season. But you don't just let a player, a prospect who could be good in the future. He's only 20. You don't let a prospect go for $1 million when you could just loan him out for a season and see how he does. That's what I don't understand. It's like for Man United to get $1 million, it doesn't make sense. Fair enough if someone comes in with an offer that's too good to refuse. I'm going to make you an offer that you can't refuse. Somebody makes a really great offer. Fair enough, sell him for 15, 20 million quid for a player who's not going to be playing. But that isn't the case. Somebody's made an offer for £1 million and you've got a sell-on clause. It's bizarre business from United. Bubble says Iqbal wasn't good though. I think that's a bit harsh. I mean, I think he showed talent. I think he could be good in the future. I don't think he's anywhere good enough to get into United's starting 11. So it's not like he's going to realistically play for us anytime soon. But he could do in a couple of years' time if he was to develop at a good rate. Players develop at different stages. Some players are best as a teenager, like Michael Owen. Other players don't get better until the latter part of their career, or certainly into their 20s. Players develop at different times. So Iqbal, who was maybe not the most physical, with a bit of physicality added to his game, he could have improved leaps and bounds. So we just jumped the gun on selling him. I think it doesn't quite make sense. Yeah, Jim says Ronaldo is the GOAT, but yeah, 100% agree with you, Pig. Yeah, he is the GOAT. He is the GOAT, but you can't be doing that sort of stuff. A7K, thank you very much. I am back, mate. How you doing? Mark Harris says Iqbal never got a chance. It's crap. Well, that's true. He didn't really get much of a chance. No, but I mean, there are obviously factors for that. I mean, behind the scenes, Ten Hag obviously thought he wasn't good enough. If he did, I'm sure he wouldn't be going to Scott McTominay and Fred and all these average players. He's obviously... There's obviously reasons for it. For how Ten Hag wants to do things, he didn't really think he was the right guy. It's a shame. I think he should have been given some more chances as well, based on some of those melters we've just mentioned. But obviously, he just wasn't really that impressive behind the scenes, or otherwise he'd have been given more chances. So, it's one of those. He did probably deserve a few more chances, but just didn't do it. It didn't do enough to get into the team, I guess. But not to say that he couldn't in the future. That's what's bizarre about the whole situation for me. Big up yourself, pal Marius, and the community. Thank you, bud. Heinrich Van Neel says, hi, sir. Welcome back. Hope your family's doing better. Thank you, Heinrich, bud. Good to be back. Exactly, Stephanie. Ian Wright and Jamie Vardy were late developers. Precisely, yeah. Ian Wright didn't really get going until he was like bloody 23 or something for Crystal Palace, did he? And Jamie Vardy was playing for Fleetwood or whoever it was, non-league guff into his early 20s and stuff. So, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Glazer's stalling, selling the club to mug fans off the last time, says Bubbles. Momo says Grealish is still drunk, Mr. P. Yeah, when Jack Grealish gets wankered, everyone calls him a hero. When I get wasted for days on end, people say I've got a problem. You know what I mean? It's unacceptable. What's that all about? I'm just joking, but, Jack Grealish, though, just forget that guy. Fair play to him. He's had a good time, hasn't he? Parallel Sun says, hi, Pig. Good to see you back. The Hoop Man's loving it. How you doing, Hoop Man? I hope you're great. TG Army, not too bad, buddy. He wants some Mbappe. Oh yeah, if that could happen, that would be the best. If we got Sheikh Jassim, it's a possibility. Thank you, Casing. It's good to be back, lad. A. Meyer says he trusts Ten Hag. He has risen Man United for what he had. Hope he can carry on. Yeah. Duke of Rodtown says, hope the family's doing as good as well, Piggo, as they can, and getting by during all of this, Piggo. Yeah, well, we are sort of. It's true. We are getting by. Gungshi, thank you, buddy. Says love to the Piggy and the Bacon Brigade. Gungshi, once again, thank you for your insane generosity and your PayPal the other day, man. That really has helped me out, because obviously I haven't been able to stream this month at all in June. And I've got a lot of catching up to do in that regard. So, thank you so much for that, bud. That was a massive, massive help, honestly. Vincent Bullock, thank you for your highlighted comment. Been a member 9 months, pal. He says transfer market has been a joke. Years of reselling, Manchester United women. Russo has joined Arsenal for free in January. We was offered $500,000. There you go. Yeah, Russo joined Arsenal ladies. I mean, look, I can't pretend I know too much about the goings on in the women's side. I'll be totally honest. But seemingly they got themselves a really good player there for Nout. Just classic Man United, isn't it there, Vincent Bullock? I know. On all fronts, it's a joke, lad. Thank you very much for being a member for 9 months, bud. Yeah, Jim Watkins is sick of the sales saga dragging on and on and on. She's fit, says DJ Army. Kevin De Bruyne was as steaming as Grealish and no one batted an eyelid, says Sonic Asylum. I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know, maybe because he's English or something. I don't know. People like an English lout, don't they? Don't know. There you go. Yeah. Do I want Mount, says Bond Servant? No. To be perfectly honest, I'd rather we went and got somebody like Declan Rice or even like De Jong. Somebody who's a bit better, to be fair. He is good, Mount. He's okay. He's decent. He's had his moments. But again, my thoughts on Mason Mount are he's one of the most overrated players going. I don't see the value in him. For 40 million, I'd take him. But any penny over that, I'd say no. For 40 million, I'd take him. He is homegrown and English and only 24 years of age. technically the best years should be ahead of him. But I've said this for 2 seasons now. He is Dele Alli incarnate. He is another player like that, another player that has looked good in the past, and he never even reached the heights of Dele Alli. But fundamentally, I think he'll just fail. That's what I think. I think he's just another player destined for the scrap heap of English overrated, overhyped melts. That's my honest opinion on him. So no, I don't really want him. I never wanted him. I don't rate him. I think he's okay, but that's about it. If Ten Hag wants him, I trust Ten Hag, but nah, not bothered. Not bothered at all. There is no De Bentos news, actually, Mark Harris, in regards to De Jong. The latest news on De Jong is his heart is really not in Manchester, is it? He doesn't want to be here. He wants to be in Barcelona. Ten Hag improves players. Look at Rashford so can see him turning Mount into a baller. Well, fair enough there, Chrissy J. It could happen. What's happened with Jadon Sancho then? You know what I mean? It depends on the player also. So yes, players can be turned into great players by the manager. I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson used to do that all the time. He made Anderson half decent. You know, he would make players much better. But, you know, it's still on the player as well. I just don't see it with Mount. Maybe you're right, though. But, you know, don't know. Hey there, Adewale. How are you doing? K Slater says the Prem's cleaned itself up. It's nice to see a lush every once in a while. Hashtag Jack Daniels. Yeah, it used to happen all the time. They used to be drinking beers at half time and stuff, didn't it? Tony Adams would neck half a fucking bottle of vodka before going out on the pitch. I know, you're absolutely right. Things have changed. Rashford disappears in big games, overrated, overpaid, says Mark Harris. But you could have said that for 18 months, I think. But I'm not so sure you could say that based on the last season where he was literally our best player and won the Player of the Season award. I don't know if you could really say that based on the last season. But, I mean, you know, Gaming Simp saying it again. He says Rashford went missing last 2 months this season. He kind of did. He wasn't at his best for the last couple of months. It was a disappointing end to the season for him. But overall, the season was fantastic by Marcus Rashford. It was absolutely fantastic for him. But I hear you. He did tail off at the end of the season. It wasn't great. New sponsorship deal with Frey Bentos Pies just for Luke Shaw. Sancho don't have the mentality to play for United, says Chrissy. If only we could sell him. But I agree with what Kingslayer said here. Sancho out to Saudi Arabia. Unless there's going to be a team like that that wants to take the gamble on him and pay him what he can get at Manchester United, because he's on huge money at United. I've heard he's on 275 grand a week at United. I can't believe that's true. But if it is true, it just goes to show you how much we overpay players and give them too much too soon. That's a joke for a player who's unproven and pretty bang average. So yeah, unless there's a team like that that's going to come in from Saudi Arabia and buy him, I just don't see him being wanted by anybody in the Premier League, for instance, because he's just too much money to pay every single week, and he's not going to turn down the money he's getting at United. 350 says Boomy. I mean, it's crazy money, isn't it? 350k says Bubble. 350k then. I mean, that's even worse, isn't it? What a shambles to be paying a player like Jadon Sancho 350k a week. Can I just say what a shambles it is that these players are going to Saudi Arabia so nonchalantly? They're just, I mean, Ruben Neves has just done it, hasn't he, guys? Now, I understand Kante. I even understand Benzema. I even understand Ronaldo. Some of these players go in there when they towards the end of their career just for a monster pay rise. Because I hear Benzema's getting 200 million euros in equivalent value, including some add-ons and extras and things like that for a year. I mean, that's mad, to be fair. That's just crazy money. So I understand it from the money point of view. But for a player like Ruben Neves to go for that sort of money when he's 26 years old, 26 years old, he's going to go play in that in a camel league. It makes no sense at all, guys. It's a disgraceful move. Yeah, it's just a money grab. You know, maybe if you were in that position or I was in that position, maybe that would tempt you. But these players have still got years left at the top level in Europe to do business. Man United would have taken a cheeky Ruben Neves, but instead he's gone to play in Saudi Arabia. I don't understand the ambition of these players in this modern era. You've already got loads of money. You're already rich as fuck. Go there in a couple of seasons. You don't have to go there now. He's almost retired at 26. It's a disgrace. Yeah, Superstar says the whole Saudi thing is dodgy as fuck. Good to see you back. Thank you, Simon Warner. It's good to be back. Have to sell by. How many bids have United received for any player? To my knowledge, none. Well, there's that deal for Zidane Iqbal, but that's about it, isn't it? But in regards to a lot of the other players like Maguire, Martial, McTominay, players that we want to see go, no, there's no movement at the moment. Ziyech is on the way now as well. Piggy says V2 plus 10. Unreal, isn't it? Chris Goose says, what's your feelings on the Glazers will do, Sheikh or Jim? I mean, I think Sheikh Jassim's going to win it in the end, Chris Koo, but who really knows? Depends how greedy and how much of a bunch of shithouses the Glazers want to be. Hey, we're nearly at 200 likes, by the way, everyone. Thank you, everyone who's hit the like. Keep hitting the likes if you're just joining the stream. Share us around, subscribe and all that jazz. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes and read out a few more comments, so do have your say. Thank you, Sly, for the $9.99 super chat there, Sly. Thank you, buddy. Get in there. Hey, you, Adrian. I did it. It's Sly in the chat. He says, welcome back, Pig. Messi decided he was not going to Arabia. Class act. Sly, he went to Miami, mate. Fair enough. I hear what you're saying. That argument holds up a little bit of weight, but he went to the MLS, bud. You know what I mean? That's fucking gash. You know, okay, fair enough. He's going to stay in one of Europe's top leagues. He's gone to America, mate. You do realise that? So, yeah, okay, he's not gone to Saudi Arabia, but he's ended up going to Pig in MLS for money, bud. It's just the same old crap. He's gone to play for Miami. You know what I mean? He's got Don Johnson playing alongside him, for Pete's sake. You know, it's obscene. But there you go, Sly. Thank you for your super chat, bud. You're a legend. Mr. Cedric, thank you for your highlighted comment. He says, hello, Pig. How are you? I'm glad to see you back. I'm holding up, mate. I'm holding up. Thank you, Mr. Cedric. Good to see you also. Hope you're doing well, bud. Thank you for that. Let's get a #2 in the chat. Thank you for being a member 2 months, my friend. And Parallel Sun says, Wolves trying to flog players to Saudi Arabia. Something dodgy going on there. Well, they can get great money for these players. I understand it from a selling club's point of view, but from the player's point of view, it's just greed. That's all it is. It's just pure greed. K Slater says, Messi turned down $1 billion, $500 million per season. I love that. Well, okay. Fair enough. But fundamentally, though, you know, these guys, he's already basically a billionaire, isn't he? So, pretty much. Nearly. Gone to see the Dolphins, says Stephanie. Slabby would drive the Arabs raving mad over there, says Simon. Yeah, they don't want Maguire, surely. Maguire would be decent at Inter Miami, says B2 plus 10. Arguably, maybe. I don't know, they're quite athletic in the MLS. I don't know, you might get tucked up at the back there with his slowness. K Slater says Messi wants Miami, Pig. He knows what he wants in his lifestyle. So it sounds like he wants to be going down to the beach. He wants to be on Ocean Drive. He wants to be hanging out with Hispanic ladies with big booties and doing cocaine off of them. Is that what you're telling me, Case Later? Like, why has he chosen Miami, mate? There's loads of places he could go. Anyway, Alfonsini says, you ever thought of doing road shows, Pig? It would be popular a lot better than Fake Bridge on another channel. Road shows? What, like Antiques Roadshow? You mean like going out and doing a chat with players on the road? I mean, I'd love to do that, to be fair, but I don't know, maybe one day. We'll see. We'll build up to that. Playing GTA Vice City in his spare time to Chris Goo. Declan Rice baby, 120 mil. Yeah. If we sell Sancho, then replace them, says Jim Watkins. Miami Vice. Look, I get it. Miami's a decent place to play, I suppose, but I don't get it. I really don't get it, really. I mean, I get it because it's a nice place, but I don't get it because it's the MLS. Alfonsini thinks it would be great, though. Who agrees? Well, thank you, Alfonsini. You never know. One day, bud. Messi got an agreement with the MLS to create a team like Beckham did. That's why he chose Miami. Oh, okay, interesting. So yeah. Well, is that the case then, Chrissy J? Because if that's true, then I understand it. Because David Beckham was given that opportunity. He was given the chance to have essentially a franchise when he joined LA Galaxy, and what he actually paid for it was, I think it was only 20 million he had to pay to exercise that option to get an MLS club. And that club is now worth, well, I don't know because it's the MLS, but I'm guessing probably around $1 billion. It's probably literally, it's an insane investment. You know, any sports franchise is going to be worth a lot in America, I suppose. And so it's probably worth a fortune. And yeah, I think he only had to pay 20 million to exercise that option to have a MLS franchise. If that's what Messi's got, then I understand it. But also, he could have done that in a couple of years. Next World Cup will be in North America. Messi gone there to fix it like the last one. I like your style, Kingslayer, yet. Good shout. Beckham Jr. playing for Brentford next season. He'll probably score against us. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, Simon Warner. I rate that, to be fair. I do rate that. Messi actually earns more money in the US over time because he's getting shares in Adidas and the MLS. Well, there you go, Boomy. It's not stupid, is it? But again, he's just gone somewhere essentially for the money. That's what it is. That's what happened at PSG as well, if you ask me. He's just gone there for the money. Scumbags, how rich do you need to be? MLS like Saudi League and Australia League, all shit leagues, EPL is the best. Well, there you go, Jim. Certainly the European leagues, the top 4 or 5 European leagues are where it's at in terms of actual competition and accolades. Everyone knows that. It's all about La Liga, Premier League, even the Bundesliga and Serie A are just way better leagues with more depth and more competition than those leagues, 100%. You think the Saudi League in time will be bigger than the MLS as V2 plus 10? Well, they're certainly chucking the money at it, but I don't know. 3 awkward matches to kick the start of the Prem. Wolves, Spurs and Forest. How many points can we get from these matches? Simon Warner says. Yeah, good shout. I'll probably say, 7. Surely we should be capable of beating Wolves and Forest, and surely we should be beating Spurs, really. But I'll just say 7 because it never goes perfect, does it? Thank you, Silverware. I appreciate you, bud. Thank you very much, lad. Saudi League's a money-grabbing, poncy bunch of... Oh, crikey. Crikey, UK trains. A little bit much there, but okay. Bundesliga's okay. Italian League is good. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, guys, right, I'm going to wrap this stream up. I've just realised we've been going for 1 hour and 35 minutes. That's as long as a game of football with stoppage time. So let's wrap it up there. But thank you so much to every one of you legends who's welcomed me back to streaming again here. It's been a few weeks. And thank you so much for all the condolences as well from everybody and all the kind messages. Once again, thank you, guys. Just thank you to the greatest community out there, the Bacon Brigade, the Hamada, the Sausage Soldiers, the Gammon Gang, every one of you guys. And thank you once again to Gungshi, Mark Harris, for gifting out loads of new members on the channel, and anybody who's become a member or has been a member of this channel for a long time and supported the show. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you to all the super chatters, and thank you to just everybody who's gotten here and has been absolute legendary. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Momo Mino, UK Strange, Duke of Rodtown, Boomy, The Hoop Man, Wiggy, Fat Chinese Gaming, Eddie's Football, Waffle Lad, Scoojo One, Kingslayer, Simon Warner, A. Meyer. Thank you, Eddie, for all your help recently. Check out Eddie's Football Waffle on YouTube, guys. Give him a follow. He's a top lad, and he helps co-host a lot of the streams and stuff on this channel. I'm going to try and keep as many of those on as possible because I think it's a nice addition to the channel anyway. Johnny M, Kingslayer, Sylvester Nyanga, Jim Watkins, Boomy, the Big Guy, F the Man, Gungshi. Love you too, brother. Thank you so much. Duke of Rodtown, The Hoop Man, UK Strange, Jim Watkins, Insidious Inflation, Mr. Briscoe, Luan France, and everybody else as well. And Chris Koo, thank you for the £5 super chat at the end. He says, so glad you're back. Wish you well in these difficult times. Thank you, Chris Koo. So like I say, over the next few days or weeks, the schedule is going to be sporadic. I will try and jump on and cover all the breaking news when it happens. But if I'm unable to do so, it's because I've got stuff going on and organising things and getting the house ready. My brother's coming over with his missus and his 4 kids, and they're all staying here, and I've obviously got to get everything ready for them and stuff like that. And then also the funeral is at the start of July. So, just stuff like that's happening, and I'm not going to be back to like last summer 100% yet. But I will do as much as I can, and I'll still have content from the legends coming on the channel as well to help out. And it's much appreciated for those guys and everybody else who's helped the channel in any way. Thank you very much. But we'll get back to regularly scheduled programming as soon as possible. But I will try and do as much as I can. Thank you, Chris Koo, Simon Warner, Duncan, Eddie, V2 plus 10, Sonic Asider, Marky Harris, Account Centre Bank, Simon, Boomy, Sylvester, Gungshi. Yeah, he says Eddie's been doing a great job with Jarvis and the rest of the gang. Couldn't agree more. Once again, thank you to Jarvis, John Shin, Eddie, Maisie, Griffo, Chaz, Errol. I feel like I've forgotten somebody there. Oh, Mick Blue as well. Thank you to him and everybody else. Spooky Gore, great to see you. Thank you so much, Spooky. It's good to be back. Done and Dusted, Kingslayer, The Hoop Man, Stephanie Griffith, Chris Koo, Superstar Alfonsini, Jim Watkins. Everybody, we smashed 178 likes as well. Not bad for our first stream back. You're a bunch of legends. Thanks for the support, guys. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com, for your latest news and articles. And all on social media, Flying Pig United everywhere. Smash that subscribe, smash that like before you go. Come back after this video is finished and have your thoughts and comments in the not live comments section. Get it in there. You can discuss anything we've discussed in this video. Mount, Rice, Kane, anything. Get your thoughts in after this video is finished, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep the debate going. Thank you, everyone. Jim, Kingslayer, Luan, Eddie, all the moderators in blue. Thank you to Berber, the Hoop Man, Spooky Ghoul, Mark Harris, the Hoop Man, K Slater, Gungshi, Eddie, all the moderators. Thank you all the Luan France, all the moderators, and all the members in green. Thank you for supporting the show, guys, and helping out all the time. God bless you all. Thank you so much once again for all the lovely comments, and I'll be back soon with the latest United news. Stay locked. Keep an eye out. Keep your eyes peeled. Click the bell icon for notifications, and I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you once again for being here. Piggy loves you. See you later, guys. Have a great day. I'll be back maybe later, maybe tomorrow. I don't know yet, but there will be all the latest news. I'll try and cover it as best as I can. Much love, guys. And come on, United. Hashtag Glazers out. See you soon. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.